Cube is not a monolith, but a diverse world of environments and power levels. The Brothers War set, Magic's 94th expansion, offers numerous exciting cards that many Cube curators will fall in love with. This video is specifically looking at cards with an eye towards Power Max, Vintage, and Legacy environments. Okay, here we go. Here are my top 5 cards for Cube from the Brothers War.
Honorable mentions:
Clay Champion and Blade Coiled Serpent. I have not seen creatures like Clay Champion and Blood Coiled Serpent before, and this makes them much more difficult to assess. For argument's sake, let's start with the negatives. These creatures are overcosted for their base stats. A 4-mana 2/2 and a 6-mana 5/4 are nothing to write home about. Additionally, these cards do not gain any advantage from being cheated into play or flickered with bounce abilities. Lastly, their effects do not trigger until ETB, so their effects will not resolve if they are countered while on the stack. Okay, with the bad news out of the way, common Cube saying is to quote, "find the fun." Can you imagine casting Clay Champion for 4 green mana and resolving an 8/8? Or how about casting a Blade Coil Serpent for mono blue and drawing 3 cards? Or mono black and forcing your opponent to discard 3 cards? I think casting these artifacts for mono color is definitely feasible with support cards like Gaia's Cradle, Tolarian Academy, and Dark Ritual. If you're looking to find the fun in your cube, I definitely suggest trying out these sweet cards.
Number 5.
Morel, Shield of Argive. For sure, she's designed as a stacks piece for Commander, but I expect this card to also find its way into numerous cubes. Let's start with the phrase on the card, "Opponents can't cast spells." Pretty powerful. While caveated to only be in effect during your turn, this creature could also say, "All spells you cast on your turn are uncounterable." For kicks, Morel also shuts off activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and enchantments on the opposing side of the battlefield. This means no cracking clue, treasure, or food tokens by your opponents on your turn. If they want to use those artifacts, they'll have to pay those activation costs on their turn. Additionally, Morel creates soldier artifact tokens, a nice nod to the artifact theme within this set. Aside from the subtype of human, soldier is a very common creature type within the white color pie. A third of the creatures in my own personal cube white section carry the subtype soldier. This means that on attack, you're at minimum going to make a single 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token, but potentially many more.
Number 4.
Surge Engine. While the base mana value cost is 2 and power toughness is 3/2, the real cost is 2 and a blue, though paid in installments for a 3/2 unblockable artifact creature. This is an absurdly good rate. Magic's history offers a few unblockable 3-power creatures for 3 mana, all with some sort of drawback or a more difficult casting cost. Because Surge Engine is effectively blue, I expect this construct will get played in tempo-focused blue decks. Piled on top of these stats is the ability for Surge Engine to be upgraded at instant speed. Not sure if you want to upgrade the Surge Engine to a 5/4 or to save mana to cast a counterspell? Don't worry, you can keep mana open for that counterspell through your opponent's turn. And then if the counterspell is not needed, use your mana effectively by upgrading the Surge Engine. Surge Engine is a blue mage's dream.
Number 3.
Lauren of the Third Path. Man, what a cool name. It made me want to know more about the Third Path as I've seen other cards with this moniker. The Third Path, also known as the Third Way or the Union, was an alliance of magic users, historians, intellectuals, and artificers from across Dominaria that sought neutrality during the Brothers' War. Now, Loran brings a Reclamation Sage effect to the white color pie, and has some neat interactions with cards like Caracas. Also, Loran has a relevant keyword, Vigilance, given that Loran's ability is to tap and draw cards. Now, combine Loran with some stacks cards such as Spirit of the Labyrinth, and you can activate Loran on your opponent's turn for one-sided card draw.
Number 2.
Third Path Iconoclast. Oh boy, do we have a nice upgrade for Spellslinger variants. Third Path Iconoclast is an Izzet-colored young pyromancer that activates on every non-creature spell, not just instants and sorceries like the pyromancer. Plus, the tokens produced are artifacts as well, proving additional synergy in the right environments. Is the additional cost of 2 different colors of mana worth this upgrade? I think so. White Wolf 123, a popular cube curator, puts the Iconoclast up there as a clean number 2 for cube Izzet selections, just behind the likes of Dak Faden. And I agree with his assessment. If you haven't given White Wolf's set preview articles a read, do yourself a favor and go check them out. I'll link it down below.
Number 1.
Steel Seraph. The only prototype card on this list, and man, what a banger. First, let's pay tribute to how cool this artwork is by Dennis Tipserico. This angel just looks badass. Now real quick, prototype is an optional alternative casting cost. When the prototype cost is paid, the artifact creature comes into play with a different mana cost, color, and power and toughness stats. However, the abilities on the card do not change regardless if the prototype or full casting cost is paid. Now, for 1 white, Steel Seraph comes into play as a white artifact creature with power toughness 3/3. Or if paying the full casting cost of 6 colorless, comes in as a colorless artifact creature with power toughness 5/4. Both versions have flying, and both grant at the beginning of combat a target creature gains either flying, vigilance, or lifelink until end of turn. I think this card's home will really be in a white-based aggro deck, giving creatures the necessary evasion to smash face. These were my top 5 cards for Cube from the Brothers War, but I want to know what your favorites are. Let me know down in the comments. Anyways, thanks for hanging, thanks for chilling with me here. Don't touch that dial and let's keep cubing.